What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? I am back again with another video. In today's episode, I'm gonna show you the ultimate guide for radius of effect in Call of Dragons. There is more to the story than what you see written on paper. Today you're gonna know about Surrounded Legion, you're gonna know about Nearby Legion, and I'm gonna help you understand how this works in the open field. Spoiler alert, I can say 70% of players in this game don't really know how this works in the open field. This video is gonna explain everything today. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel for more content, turn on that bell notification and never miss out. Like the video, share it with your friends, leave some comments down below. Let's get the video started. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, today I'm gonna show you a bunch of different things about some of the heroes in the game. When you look at Thea, she has the Nearby Friendly Legions description. Do you know how that works? Today I'm gonna show you that. We have Madeline, who deals damage to up to 3 surrounding legions. Do you know the radius of effect of this skill? Do you know how to take advantage of this skill? Today I'm gonna explain that. We have someone like Indis, who also has the Surrounded Legion effect. Indis is one of the trickiest heroes that we have in the game. Today I'm gonna show you guys with tests in the open field. It's gonna change the way you look at surrounded legions in the game. We also have Pan here, who has the Nearby Friendly Legion effect as well. Today you're gonna know how this works in the game. There is more to the story than what you see here. Now the game developers have also introduced 2 brand new heroes with kind of complicated skill. One of them is GORESH. GORESH also have the Surrounded Legion effect. Do you really know how these skills work? Do you know the radius of effect of this skill? Spoiler alert, I wasn't too excited about this skill because I know a lot about Surrounded Legions in the game. So today I'm gonna help you guys understand what is really going on. Now I have a bunch of different circles here with a bunch of different descriptions. These are all the attack range for all the different heroes that we have in the game. I mean, for all the different troop types that we have in the game. Let us go over this image in detail to help you guys understand what is really going on. We shall begin with the red circle. The red circle is what I call the melee radius of effect. All the melee units in this game fight within the melee radius of effect circle. Spoiler alert, the Surrounded Legion also fall in this melee radius of effect, which is why I wasn't too excited about GORESH skill, the one that does damage to 5 surrounding legions. Now the blue circle is for the near radius of effect, which is for the Elk Riders. The black circle is for the medium radius of effect, which is for the Archers. And the green circle is the VF, which is very far radius of effect for the mages. Now I'm going to zoom out the melee radius of effect, which is the Surrounded Legion radius of effect. There are 4 troop types right now that fight in melee combat. You have the Knights, you have the Infantry, Wolf Riders, and the Forest Eagles. Because these units fight in melee combat, the game developers have decided to give them what we call surrounded damage bonus. So every time you surround an enemy with 5 of your legions, you are going to get 15% surrounded damage bonus for each one of your legion. It is like you have created an extra skill slot for your heroes. This is the reason lately you have seen me using 5 cavalry marches in the open field. That is because I am taking advantage of the 15% surrounded legion bonus. Now some infantry can force ranged units to fight in melee combat as well. So these melee units can force all these ranged units you see here to fight in melee combat. However, when the ranged units are fighting in melee combat, they do not get surrounded damage. They will be within the radius of effect of surrounded legions. However, they are not going to get surrounded damage bonus. So when it comes to these skills that says Surrounded Legion effect, it is only going to work on ranged units that come to within the Surrounded Legion radius of effect. This was one of the reasons I wasn't too excited about this Surrounded Legion damage bonus. because its radius of effect is not big. It is not big enough to catch Elk Riders. Otherwise, that would not be fair for the Elk Riders. Just so you know, the Surrounded Legion radius of effect is very, very small. It is not big. Now let's go to the talent tree and I'll show you guys a little something. Something that, you know, I did not pay attention to. And today we're gonna clear everything. If you knew this long time ago, then good for you. There is this skill in the infantry talent tree known as the flank protection. It says your legion takes 15% less bonus damage from being surrounded. Well, guess what? This skill does not work on ranged units. Ranged units can come within the surrounded legion radius of effect. However, they cannot surround a legion. They will be damaged by surrounded legion skills, but they do not get surrounded legion damage bonus. So this skill does not work on ranged units. If you pick this skill, just know that it's going to work on Forest Eagles, it's going to work on Knights, Wolf Riders, and other infantry. It does not work on ranged units. Therefore, I recommend you don't pick this skill anymore if you are building your infantry to fight ranged units in the open field. So we're gonna go back here and then talk about GORESH a little bit. So here is GORESH. Let's find GORESH. So GORESH was added in the game. It says when GORESH's legions launches a counter attack, they have a 50% chance to deal additional damage to up to 5 surrounding legions. Each additional legion targeted reduces damage taken by 15%. This effect can be triggered up to 2 times per second. Now this skill looks great on paper. Unfortunately, when I saw 5 surrounding legions, my level of excitement just went down because I really know what is going on. So if your GORESH is fighting, someone can block your GORESH with infantry, and everybody who is from the near range is not going to get caught by GORESH skill. So this is one of the downside of surrounded legion. You have to go very, very close to the enemy in order to trigger everything that is associated with your surrounded legion hero description. Like for GORESH, which is doing damage to 5 targets. That does not work on ranged units that do not come within the surrounded legion radius of effect. And spoiler alert guys, it is very small, it is not big. So the game developers have also introduced a brand new artifact. Let's go check it out. This brand new artifact is known as the SPIRITBONE TORC. Now I can say the artifact is going to be a different case because it says it can force 5 surrounding enemy legions to attack your legions for 3 seconds. Again, the keyword here is 5 surrounding. But I think this artifact is going to have a much bigger radius of effect. So how big is that radius of effect going to be? I don't think that radius of effect is going to reach the Elk Riders because that will not be fair to them, if I'm not mistaken. A good artifact to compare with the SPIRITBONE TORC would be this defensive artifact we have right here. The radius of effect for the SPIRITBONE TORC might be the same with the radius of effect for the Fang of the Ashkari. We just need to unlock it and prove it. So that is why I was saying there is more to the story than what you see on paper. Alright, let us get back to this image and continue explaining some stuff that is happening in the game. So let's pick someone like Thea right now. Thea's skill describes her as giving a shield to heroes that are nearby. So it says 2 nearby friendly legions. So let's go back to this image and you see the radius of effect for Thea's skill. So if you're fighting with Thea, make sure all the heroes that you want to give a shield to are in the nearby range. So that is like the Elk Rider. So when you're fighting with Thea, kind of like draw a circle around your hero, just an invisible circle, and then keep your troops in there. Do not put them very, very far away because otherwise they are not going to get a shield from Thea. Now the same thing can also go for Pan. Pan can also provide healing to 2 nearby legions. So if Pan is like here in the middle, this is the radius of effect for Pan's skill. 2 nearby legions. They have to be within this radius for you to get the benefit of that healing. When it comes to Madeline, she also has the skill where she can do damage to up to 3 surrounding legions. If you want to take advantage of this skill, this is the radius of effect. Make sure you force your Madeline to fight people in melee combat, like draw many people close to you in order to do damage to multiple targets. And then there is the weirdest hero in the Call of Dragons, the most complicated hero that I have ever seen today, and it is Indies. I'm going to show you guys everything with field test in the open field. You're going to see exactly how Indies is so weird in the open field. And she is the one who helped me understand all the different radius of effect in the game. So Indies skill says inflicts infirm on the target legion and 2 nearby legions, increasing all damage taken by 20% for 2 seconds, while also healing lightly wounded units in up to 2 friendly legions surrounding the target. So here is the keyword: 2 friendly legions surrounding the target. And since Indies is an overall commander, the rules are going to change as well, as you are going to see me show you guys on the open field. So right now we're going to go all the way back to the image and then explain to you guys what is happening with Indies. You're going to be surprised. You're going to be like, what the heck is going on? And then I'm going to prove it to you guys in the open field. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the pen just right on the screen so that you guys see everything. All right, let's assume this is Indies right here. And this is the enemy that we are fighting. Let me just change the font to red, make everything look nice. Okay, so this one right here is Indies. And this is the enemy in the middle of the field. Let's say you're using Indies with 2 other mage units. There are 2 other mages right beside you right here. And then this is the enemy. You have 1 infantry tanking, and then you have 1 cavalry fighting as well. So these are your 5 marches. So it says Indies can heal up to 2 legions surrounding the target. So when Indies casts her rage skill, she is only going to heal these 2 legions that have surrounded the target. Everybody else, all these other mage units that are here, they are not going to get any healing because they are not within the radius of the surrounded legion. Let's say you have 4 marches and you only have 1 legion fighting the enemy in melee combat. Indies is going to heal only that 1 legion that is fighting the enemy within that surrounded legion radius of effect. That's how it's going to work. Now let's say you are fighting, let's say this is your Indies, you have 2 of your mage units right beside you, and you're fighting another mage who is shooting you guys from long range. You're also shooting that mage from long range. Well, guess what? The healing of Indies is not going to work because none of your heroes is within surrounded legion radius of effect. You guys see what is going on? Now let's say this is the enemy, right? And then you have your Indies here with mages. You have another mage with you here and another mage with you here. And since all 3 of you are fighting this enemy in melee combat, Indies is now going to provide healing to these mage units that are near you in the surrounded legion radius of effect. It is so weird when you fight with these Indies. Now let's say your Indies is here and then you have another mage with you. You have another mage and you're fighting an elk rider who is shooting you guys from here. Well, guess what? None of you are within the surrounded legion radius of effect. The healing of Indies is not going to work for you. So this is how I came to understand the radius of effect for surrounded legions in the game. It is not very big, and Indies is the weirdest hero available in the game, as you guys are gonna see me prove to you guys in the open field. Let's get to it. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, it's time to do some testing for Indies in the open field. You're gonna see how the radius of effect work in the game. you're gonna see that there is more to the story than what the game developers have shown us on the screen. So what is this troop type that we have here? We have these warlocks who are the mages. So we're gonna fight these guys. You're gonna see how this is going to work. Now I'm gonna show you guys exactly what is gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you before we start the fight. So this, who is over here, is going to heal Forondil, who is melee, and he's also going to heal Nika, who is infantry. When you look at the talent tree, when you look at the skill description for this, it says she's going to put infirm on the target and then also heal up to 2 friendly legions surrounding the target. So those 2 friendly legions have to be within the melee radius of effect. So let's go back and we see what is going on. Where is this unit? Right here. So this is the warlock. They have come too close. So I'm gonna move things back a little bit. So what I want to do is I want Nika to be the tank, so I'm gonna send her there in front first. That way she engages the enemy. Now I'm gonna send everybody and see what happens. So this is going to heal these 2 legions that are fighting in melee combat. Just wait and see when she casts her rage skill. She's not going to heal any of the ranged units because they are not in the melee combat. There you go. You see those 2 healings? She's only healing the people fighting in melee combat. So you probably missed that. So let's check out with this warlock again. You know what? Now we're gonna try a different test and then we're gonna show it to you in a different way. Right now I'm going to remove all these melee units and we're gonna fight just ranged combat. You're gonna see that in this skill, surrounded legion only work for units that surround a target. You have to be within the surrounded legion radius of effect to get the healing benefit of this. So I have 3 ranged units fighting another ranged unit. None of them is going to be within surrounded legion radius of effect, and so this is not going to heal anyone. Just keep an eye out over here. You're not going to see this healing skill. Let's wait for her to cast her rage skill. So this cast her rage skill, do you guys see any healing for anybody? Absolutely not, because none of them is within surrounded legion radius of effect. This is why I wasn't too excited about GORESH. For his skill to work, you have to be very, very close. Now some of you might be like, okay, that might be a fluke. So I'm going to show you again to clear any doubts that you have right now. Where is a level 25 enemy? Any level 25 nearby? My troops are just killing them very fast. You know what? Gonna bring them all the way up to this archer. So we're gonna select. I'm gonna leave Forondil behind. You're gonna see exactly what happens. This time, only Nika is going to be fighting that enemy in melee combat. And you know what's gonna happen? This is only going to heal Nika because she's the only one fighting in the surrounded legion radius of effect. So when we go back over here, the skill says in up to 2 friendly legions surrounding the target. When you also look at Madeline, she has the surrounded thingy right here. You have to be in that small radius for this skill to work. If someone blocks your Madeline, well, you don't get that. So let me bring Nika very close. I already know what's gonna happen because this is only going to heal Nika. You guys will see that. So Nika engages the enemy and then I send the rest. You just see. Take a look at what this is gonna do. When she casts her rage skill, only Nika is gonna get that healing. Nobody else here. She can heal up to 2, but we only have 1 legion in the surrounded legion area. As you guys just saw over there, she healed Nika. So let us try an enemy that is a little bit more powerful. One that we can fight for a long time, so you see what is really going on. So I'm gonna put here I'm gonna put Nika, and then we're also going to add Forondil. So only these 2 legions that are fighting in melee combat are going to be healed by that skill. Hopefully this ranged golden rock doesn't start fighting crazy. So we're gonna bring this here, and then select everybody and hit this enemy. So the fight has begun. So the enemy has been surrounded x2. We have 2 legions fighting in melee combat. Now pay attention to the Indies skill. You're gonna see her healing only these 2 troops that are in melee combat. She's not going to heal anybody here because they don't fit in that category. So she cast her skill. You guys see that healing? Double healing for the 2 troops in the melee combat. You're gonna see that again to show you it's not a fluke. She cast her skill again. You see she only healed these 2 troops that are in melee combat. I hope that explains everything. You can go and try it out if you want. So for those of you that are using Indies next time, just know that you are not going to get the healing from Indies if you are not within the radius of the surrounded legion radius of effect. You will get the inform, but you're not going to get the surrounded legion healing. So to get that healing, you have to go close to the enemy and fight in melee combat with your ranged unit if you want to get the healing. Now I am not too excited about these 2 new heroes because of this effect, but they are awesome. So this is what I wanted to show you guys today in the video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe for more content. If you like what you saw, share it with your friends. Leave some comments down below. What do you think? Until then, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye bye for now.